some more sensitive topics. I'm not sure if I want to get into that on YouTube. YouTube is icky when it comes to that stuff. She did not solve her problems like an adult. She avoided it and then ran away like a little child. Deplorable. I know I goughed when she suggested they behave like adults, as if she was behaving like an adult. I would have had some choice words. But it's also so weird that neither her nor the parents said anything. So they were just sitting there for 2 years? And then she also said yes to the wedding question. It just sounds like she was worried about moving away from the relationship or breaking it off or something like that, but then dragging it along until the very, very last minute. I mean, we don't have all the context in the story. Of course, it's always just one side, but it doesn't sound that great. It's okay that people aren't compatible. That's something important to accept in life. Sometimes you will end up with a partner that is genuinely a good person, but later down the line you might realize that you're not compatible, and that's okay. Not every breakup happens because someone is genuinely evil or, something dramatic happens. That's not always the case. But don't string people along, I suppose, is a good takeaway.
I found a second phone that my husband used to cheat on me with, and now he is panicking.
Oh my god, these are some juicy titles. I don't have to drink water today because I get enough hydration from the pure juice of the subreddit. Beautiful.
I'm using a throwaway for this. I found the phone 3 months ago. The way I found out he was cheating was by accident. I had recently gotten a new phone because I dropped my old one and the screen cracked so badly I couldn't even use it at all. It was hard to get all my contacts, so I decided to go on our phone account and just get the contacts from there. My husband is the one who is in charge for paying for the phones, so I never look at the account. I went on his computer and he had the password and login automatically saved, so it was easy. I got all my numbers, but then I noticed that instead of just 2 lines on the account, there were 3, and another phone was listed that neither of us had. Honestly, at the time, I thought nothing of it, and thought maybe it was a line for his grandmother because she only had a landline, and she had mentioned a couple of times wanting to get a phone, and he just forgot to mention it. Cheating never even crossed my mind. I didn't even ask him about it and went on with my day. A few days later, I was hanging out with my best friend, and she asked if I was able to get all my information back, and I said yeah, and I just mentioned that I even found out his grandmother had a phone, and he didn't tell me, but it wasn't a big deal. I don't know what made her ask, but she said, "Are you sure it's his grandmother's phone?" And I said, "Pretty sure." She asked me to double check and I wasn't going to do it, but I was curious. I called his mom first to say hi and asked her about his grandmother and if she had found the phone yet, and his mom said no, that she decided she didn't really need it. I waited for him to go to work the next day and I looked at the account again. I went to the phone, clicked view usage history and saw that the phone had only texted and called one number hundreds of times, with the history going back 5 months. I also noticed that the times of call and text were only at times when he was at work, never at home. When I saw that, I honestly tried to rationalize it, because there is no way he would cheat on me. So I called my friend and told her what I saw, and she basically told me I needed to find the phone to confirm cheating first. I looked for it all over the house for days and couldn't find it, so I knew he must have it on him. I waited for him to go to sleep and searched his car, and I found the phone. His passcode was the same passcode on his regular phone, and I found everything.
That is so stupid. If you're gonna hide something like that, at least mix up the passwords, like... I mean, I suppose at least when people cheat, they're dumb about it. If you're gonna do something silly, I suppose get caught is the decent thing to do. Jesus Christ, man.
Text messages, pictures of her, pictures of them together, them saying I love you. She's good morning video message every morning, and he has kept every one. I was heartbroken and cried the whole night. My friend told me to take the phone, turn all the location trackers off, and then turn it off. The morning he left, he was 30 minutes late for work because he was looking for it but couldn't ask me because he would have to reveal he had another phone. I kept asking him what he was looking for, and he said a file for work. He eventually left. I went to a park with my friend when he left and turned the phone on and put it on airplane mode and proceeded to go through everything.
This is some detective work stuff, like turning off the tracking, airplane mode, that kind of stuff, making sure he leaves first and doesn't know where it is, and you also know he can't ask about it. Oh my god, this is something out of like a reality show. Oh, the juice.
Our whole marriage is a lie. He has pretended that he cares about me, that he loves me while building a relationship with this other woman who knows he is married.
Oh no, that's so bad. That is so bad.
I can't even describe how I felt when I found everything out. I still haven't confronted him about it, and that's because I'm planning to leave in a few months. There is a benefit to being married to him that I would lose if I filed for divorce now, but I won't need that benefit anymore in a couple of months. He knows something is up because I put the phone back 4 days later underneath his car seat. The same seat he checked more than a few times when he was looking for it. Oh my god, let the mind games begin. I even charged the phone back to the same percentage that I found it at. I got the idea from my friend. That is also so juicy because in 4 days you know that it would be pretty drained if it was just laying there, but it's still the same percentage. So he knows that she found the phone, but he can't confront her about it in like his hopes that she wasn't able to unlock it or like think it's a friend's phone or something like that. So, oh my god, imagine that turmoil. So he's sitting there, hyper paranoid about her knowing, but can't actually ask. And she already knows and is already planning the divorce strategy. Oh my god, man. The day he found the phone, he came into the house and hovered over me the whole night, and he was just really quiet. He hasn't asked me about it, and I think he knows, but asking would lead to more questions. These past 3 months, my behavior changed, and we haven't been intimate since I found out. I have rejected every advance. And he is panicking to the point when I checked the account in the first month, the third phone line had been removed. He also changed the password a few days later. He keeps asking me what's wrong, and I say nothing. He never goes anywhere now, and if he isn't at work, he's at home trying to spend time with me. He has recommended couples therapy because in his word, something has changed, and I said we don't need it. To be honest, I'm finding a weird joy in seeing him panic because he ended our marriage, and I think he should suffer through worrying until I leave him.
Oh my god, that is kind of embarrassing though. Like he's still not owning up to it and like removing the phone, trying to like patch up the trails even though she already found it. And oh my god, that's so cringy. Edit. I have everything. My friend was able to show me how to get all the texts, video messages, pictures of them together. I only took the ones when they were not nude. They were the nude photo. Oh my god. You have a third phone. A third secret phone for cheating that has the same password as your main phone and loaded with nude photos of the person you're cheating with. Oh my god! I mean, in one way, it's good that they're getting caught, right? That's some kind of karma stuff. But you know, it's always like, it's so stupid. The whole thing is stupid. Why do this in the first place and like uproot your entire life? But then you're also really dumb about it. Jesus Christ, like double stupid. Come on. I only took the ones when they were not nude because my friend said that taking nude pics of a person who hadn't given them to you could be an issue later on. I also got the phone account usage before he locked me out of the account. She is keeping everything for me. In fact, it was her idea to let him panic. I also had an STD test. I'm on his insurance, so I paid for it out of pocket, and I am fine. This friend, though. This friend is some, like, master detective. God damn. Can we talk about her friend? That's some detective-type ideas to turn off the location tracker, put it in airplane mode, her questions. I wouldn't be surprised if she made a backup of the phone, lol. It sounds absolutely awful as well. I hope this person manages to heal properly after this and move on from the relationship, because stuff like this can also create trust issues later down the road, where people become paranoid about their future partners cheating as well, because it hurt so much when it happened before. Stuff like this can really mess with you, so I hope you're doing okay. The story is really, really well put together. It's like something out of a proper reality show. But I do hope they're doing fine, because that must really suck. Update. My GF came out as lesbian before our marriage, and no one gives a frick about me. Ah, this is like the update to that story. Alright, let's see. So here we go again, like in GTA San Andreas. But this time, it's more painful and shocking at the same time. Because today and yesterday night, a lot of things happened. Like some of you folks said, somehow one of my ex-friends saw my post on TikTok and the absolute mess started, and it's still going on right now. This ex-friend, I will call him Paul, reached out to me and basically told me that he saw the post and knew that it was me because I used my ex's real name, D. Ooh, okay, we're gonna censor that out because now we know it's a real name, and was shocked to know what really happened, because apparently D told my ex-friends that she came out to me as a lesbian, and I tried to lay hands on her and threatened her. Oh my okay, this is getting really juicy. And she told them not to contact me again. They all believed her, but then when they saw my post, they all started pressuring her if my post was saying the truth or not. And she admitted the lie. Why would she lie? Oh my god! Okay, wait a second. So this person was not only stringing along their ex when they had active marriage plans, and they didn't tell them their preference for 2 entire years, and neither did the family, and once they finally do it, and leave them just standing there flabbergasted, they also have the audacity to run a slander campaign telling them that this person is literally abusive. Okay, any kind of like empathy I had for this person is gone. Holy shite, man. Since Paul's text, I received a ton of texts and calls from everyone asking me how I'm doing, if I'm fine, and they're sorry for believing D and not texting me first, and apologizes. But then there is the real issue, D. She texted me asking to forgive her, that she was sorry for how bad she treated me, and admitting that she invented all because she was afraid to lose friends. Wait a second, you went around and lied to people about your ex being threatening and abusive because you were afraid of losing friends, so the way you do it is to paint up your ex as a massive villain and try to destroy their life. Yeah, this reminds me of someone I had to deal with in the past. My god, how gorgeous. No, what? And unfortunately, it's not all because I got a text from her girlfriend, M. And basically she told me that she is sorry for D's behavior and for what she did. And here comes the issue. That she knew D since a year and she never told her about me, but always talked to her about me like a roommate. So she was thinking to leave that. Wait a second. So she was also cheating. She was also living a double life. Like, living her active lesbian relationship on one side, stringing along her soon-to-be husband until like a month before the wedding, not telling anyone, and then leaving the husband standing there when the wedding is about to happen, and then also lying to everyone in the vicinity that he's an abuser because he's afraid of losing friends. Okay, now this story is starting to evolve very differently. Now it's not about two people simply being incompatible and one of them being a butthole and stringing along the other partner. Now it's a completely different thing. This sounds like a very guilty-minded cheater who's trying to make someone else look like the villain to just project the focus on that so they're not called out. This person isn't upset about losing friends for simply breaking up with someone. This person is afraid of losing support and friends because they're a cheater and a liar. Yeah, this is starting to look quite different. Oh my god. Now comes my part, because I made a new group including all of them, even D and M, and told them I'm not changing my mind about forgiving them. I was thinking to sue D, partially true because I'm not sure if I'm doing it or not, and if they, my ex-friends, were decent humans, they would have texted me asking me if I was out of my mind to lay hands on D, or just insulting me via text if they really cared about me. Then I added some personal things about D and blocked them all. My blocking method isn't working because they are continuing to harass me with text and calls from other numbers, and even making other people calling me and texting me. Crazy poo is happening, and I really still can't believe at all this mess because I'm thinking that it's all a nightmare and I need to wake up, but unfortunately it's all freaking true. Then the other thing is that finally I saw a therapist today, a few hours ago, and I don't like to admit it, but I cried a lot because for her, the therapist, I never worked on my parents and my sister's death, and then this thing with my ex added, making me explode, so it's gonna be a very long journey, and I hope to reach a point. Yeah, that's what I said when I read the first part of the story. It sounds like it probably takes an even heavier toll, because core family-wise, you're more lonely than your ex was. You were already in a sort of vulnerable position when it came to like your support network, and especially if your ex were going around lying to your friends about this, that's your entire support network gone. The core family isn't there, the closest friend isn't there, your partner who was supposed to be your life partner and expected wife is no longer there. That's the entire like core life gone. That is absolutely awful. I'm really happy to hear that they're working on it. That is a great first step. And find new friends, and once you work through it, find someone who actually loves you. You deserve it. This is an insane situation to be stuck in. This is insane. I already had the number of the therapist there on my table in the kitchen, but never called. But this time I did, and hopefully it will help. Also an important thing to know with therapy and that kind of stuff, sometimes it can feel like a weight is lifted off your shoulders very quickly, because you're talking about something and venting it, and that feels good in the moment, and it gives you rewardy chemicals and that kind of stuff. But it's important not to jump out of it too soon, because you think you're fixed just because it felt good to talk about it. It can be a longer process, and that is important to stick to and make sure you get through it okay. I wish you all the best. So this is all, and I hope to update you, not so quickly like now, but when I feel better. So again, thanks to all, and hopefully I will update you in better times. P.S. to all the people that are following me, I want to say thank you, but my life is pretty boring, and I don't think to post something else, you're not obligated to follow me. Then to the people that wrote me privately, thank you all, and be sure that I read all your messages and appreciate it, so thank you too. And there's the link to the first post. I really hope we get through this okay. My god, what a bunch of poopy people. I'm also starting to wonder if the parents not only knew that she was lesbian, but she already had someone new, but kept it from you and had their daughter's side despite knowing that she was actively cheating and also lying to her new partner. That's the thing. She not only lied to you, she was also stringing her new partner along and insisting that the person she was literally engaged with was just a roommate. This just sounds like a pathological liar and just uprooting the lives of so many, and you the worst. My god, I do hope we get through this okay. And yeesh, man, yeesh. But I have seen that a couple of times in the past. One thing that guilty people do sometimes, and I'm not sure if it's a trait of something else, I have no idea, I'm not an expert in the field, but one thing I've seen in the past is that people that are guilty and get a bit paranoid can very easily attack someone else to project that guilt and make sure that the focus is on someone else. This is, for example, what happened with my own little YouTube drama last year, if you will. That was very much the same thing, that some person acted really poorly and then they got scared of the consequences, so they tried to make someone else out to be the villain, or in that case, many people, I suppose, which eventually, of course, backfired horrifically, luckily, which isn't always the case. It takes a while for that kind of karma to reach them sometimes. But I have seen this before, so the behavior doesn't surprise me, but my god, it's nasty, and I do hope you find someone who really loves you, because you do deserve it, and you do deserve to build a family that you genuinely want. Tomorrow, they're going to remove my jaw. I've been a pack-a-day smoker for 10 plus years. I'm 29. A few months ago, I started noticing general discomfort around my lower jaw, then a bump where my throat meets my jaw. Turns out it's a tumor caused by my smoking. It's growing. My whole right side of my jaw is swollen. Tomorrow, I'm having surgery to remove the tumor, but it has grown so much that they're going to take off the right side of my jaw and part of my throat. I'll be left with a deformed absence of flesh and bone in the right side of my face and a hole in my throat. I'll speak through a machine. I'll be deformed and mutilated. I have a 4-year-old son, the only joy in my life, and tomorrow I'm going to look like a monster to him. Tomorrow I'm going to ruin my life. I would rather not be here. I would rather let the tumor grow and suffocate me. The thought of seeing my son's horrified face when he sees me after they're done fills me with dread that I cannot describe. He calls me his best friend. He tells me he loves me when I put him to sleep. And I'm going to betray his love and turn into a monster when they remove 40% of my mouth. If you smoke or vape, I beg you, stop. Listen to the guy who's about to have his heart ripped out. Just stop. Oh god, I'm about to lose my boy. Just stop smoking. As someone whose parents are dead, I would rather have them imperfect than dead. Hey man, I can't imagine what you're going through right now, and that sounds incredibly tough, but you'll still be his dad. That is not going to change. A part of you, how you look, might change, but he will still know it's you. It won't affect how you treat him, and he will love you just the same as he does now. There might be a period of time where he adjusts, but in time he will see the new you as the same old you you've always been his entire life. I'm not gonna pretend it won't be tough. But your son isn't gonna see a monster, he is just gonna see you. It's especially hard now, but years down the line he will be infinitely happier that he has you the way you are than he would be if he lost you to this cancer. You can do this. I know you can. Man, that story almost made me cry. But the love you have for your kid is what is gonna shine through, really. Children usually don't have, like, judgment about appearance and that kind of stuff. He's not gonna be afraid of you. He's not gonna see you as a monster. He's gonna see you as his dad, like he always has. And like this person said, it's gonna be some adjusting, like there always is with big medical stuff or adjustments or when people look different, that kind of thing. But he's still gonna love you. And imagine 10 years from now when he's becoming a teenager and you're still there. You're able to be there for him growing up. That's gonna be a billion times more for him. A billion times more love than if you were just gone due to this tumor. It gives you an entire life together. And that is not something to just throw away lightly. That is something incredibly beautiful and lucky, and I hope you manage to make the most of it. It's a really tough thing, and I hope you get through it okay, and also for your own sake and your sake of self and that kind of stuff. I really hope it works out fine. But I think your relationship with your kid is gonna be absolutely fine, and it's very obvious that you both love each other deeply. My friend group is now splintered after one of my friends slept with and started dating another friend's son. Wait, hold on. How old are the people involved in this story? I, 44, have 5 childhood friends. Emily, 45, is currently dating Christine, 44's son Henry, 20. Okay, this is, this is a pretty spicy story, isn't it? This is even more disturbing given that Christine had low supply of milk. So Emily, who has a daughter only a few months older than Henry, breastfed him for a period of time. Wait a second, so the person who's now dating the son was also literally nursing them when they were a kid. What kind of trailer park stuff is this? Holy shit! After consideration, I told Christine I'm on her side. One of our other friends is also on her side, but the 2 others are on Emily's side and said that Emily has done nothing wrong since Henry is an adult now. I mean, yeah, he is an adult and can make his own decisions, but I would still think it's pretty weird if you start dating someone that you were literally nursing when they were a baby. That's an odd dynamic. That's a really, really odd dynamic. This is such a mess. Christine tried telling Henry that he's been groomed, but he wouldn't listen. He refused to go to therapy. She's at a loss as to what to do next. She is distraught. Damn, dude! What did I even read? The he is an adult defense might work if they met when he was 20, but not only has she known him since he was a child, but she also nursed him as an infant! How can one do that to someone who is basically like a son? Not to mention your close friend's son who you watched grew up all this time. Yeah, like he is an adult and all that kind of stuff, but it's really weird because I think, at least personally, I would really struggle to see someone else as a peer adult if I had literally been there for the last 20 years from when they were a baby. It's really odd. It's not that you're meeting someone and there happens to be an age gap and that kind of stuff. It's literally like you've been nursing this person. Dear God, oh my God, man. Ah, isn't that beautiful? If you thought that high school drama was bad. You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, to be fair, I haven't seen anything like this IRL either, luckily. But my God, the wild stories that happen in the world. Isn't it beautiful? The world is so big that anything you can think of has probably happened somewhere. Yippee! I refused to give my wedding dress to my daughter. I found it ripped apart by my daughter's dogs. Wait, what? That is so petty. I spoke to my daughter and told her about the love for my dress and the memories it brought me. My mother passed away not long after my own wedding in 2008. She had hidden her illness from me and my siblings because she didn't want to ruin my big day. I thought I could get through to her. I suggested that we could meet up with the seamstress to make a similar dress, and I could help with the embroidery since it's what takes the time and patience. She agreed. Friday, when I was out, my daughter went home to me. She has 2 dogs and they were with her. Anyway, the dress was ruined. According to her, she didn't see anything. She took the dress out to take pictures and she left it out and the dogs ripped it apart. Sounds very convenient and very odd timing, and that they would rip apart like the one thing you just took out of the closet instead of going ham on, I don't know, a couch or something. That seems very oddly specific, you know, and right after that argument. I don't know about that, man. I was shocked when I saw my dress in my bedroom ripped into pieces. I started sobbing, but my daughter said I was exaggerating, like it was her fault when it wasn't. Okay, yeah, they're obviously guilty. They're obviously guilty. The fact that they're not apologizing for this. I mean, if you break something, even if it's an accident that's someone else's, and especially a very memorable piece of something, you would probably feel really bad about it. This sounds incredibly purposeful. She just shrugged me off and said to get help because I'm being creepy. What do you mean being creepy? You destroyed something that they loved. And they're sad. What? My husband asked her to leave. Next day, she blew up my phone crying and saying that she was sorry because she thought I hated her now because of a dress. Well, I would probably not want them in my house after that, holy crap. I said that I don't hate her and would never do that. I love her. Later, my sister called me to talk, and she then asked me that now I might as well give the parts that weren't ruined to my daughter so the dress could at least be useful. Is this just a scheme? Is this just the whole side of the family just scheming to get the pieces of the dress because they're super petty for some reason? What the hell? Ah, with friends like this, who needs enemies? I agreed, and my daughter came in the evening to pick up the embroidered parts. She stayed in the car while her fiancé came to pick up the dress. Yeah, that sounds really convenient. It's like, oh my god, the dogs ripped everything apart from the embroidered details, and now we can pick them up, and I get the dress that I wanted anyway, and yours is destroyed, and Yeah, nah, fam. I'm not angry or anything. I think you should be. I don't think you should have given them the pieces. They're being absolutely awful and manipulative. Just feeling terrible sadness. My mother's memory is more than a dress or any material thing. She's always in my heart. I just miss her very much all the time. Thank you for listening. I would have kept the pieces and repaired the original dress, to be honest. I'm not sure what, like, an equivalent would be, but imagine if, like, one of my friends came to borrow, I don't know, one of my guitars that I really like, and when I say, nah fam, I'm kinda careful with it, and then they just happen to smash the guitar, and then tell me like, oh, but can you give me the pieces so I can use it for a new one that I can have? That. What the f***? Nah, these family members are being absolute piles of poo. You should take the pieces back, repair your original dress, and never let this daughter or this sister or aunt or whatever be alone in your house again, because they're obviously really nasty. You are being awfully manipulated. Please find some help. What your daughter did to you with the help of her aunt and fiancé is awful. Don't let them abuse you. You are worth way more than this. Hard agree. Hard agree. They're obviously like scheming this thing for whatever reason. It's super weird. It's like, why? It's such a weird thing to scheme about and destroy things and that kind of stuff. I would keep these people at an arm's length distance, honestly. This sounds really yucky. It gives me bad vibes. I have seen over 50,000 naked men in an 11-year period. Oh, yes, indeed. Very ambitious there, good sir. For context, I worked as a prison correctional officer. Now it makes a lot of sense. Specifically, I worked in an intake in the classification center for my state's DOJ. Everyone found guilty of a felony gets to the classification center. Every inmate that comes through gets chemical delousing. I was the officer doing that. I have seen every PP size, shape, color imaginable. There is a hecking IMDb of PPs seared in my memory. I have seen a morbidly obese dude in a wheelchair with a legit innie. It was sunk into the pubic fat around it. Saw four bifurcated wanks. Google that at your own risk. Okay, don't do. I'm not gonna do it. Do you know what a PP with full Jacob's ladder Prince Albert and more looks without the jewelry? I do, and I did not like that it legit makes me squirm. I saw a few cases of genital mutilation, some that happened as a child, and for those I am so sorry, and I hope you understand. Yeah, I had to watch, and yes, your feelings are justified. One person I saw 3 times, and I remember all of them clearly, because it was the single largest flaccid PP I have ever seen, and each time it had more tattoos on it. Easily over 12 inches. If he wasn't perpetually incarcerated, he should have went into the adult film industry. What did I learn from all this? If you think you have a small PP, you don't. If you think you have a big PP, you don't. If you think your PP looks weird, it doesn't. But if it curves too much, get that checked out. Felt like getting that off my chest for a while now. Made this throwaway a goodly time, but it felt good to finally do it. That's kind of wholesome though. This is kind of like body positive and that kind of vibe. I kind of like this, because especially regarding men's privates, it's often something that is very joked about and not taken serious and that kind of stuff, but it's something you can really struggle with if you're insecure about it or have some kind of issues or whatever it is. And I think this is very sweet. This is kind of a wholesome story. It's kind of funny, but it's pretty wholesome, you know? You're fine and you're okay. Unless it bends too much, then check it out. My ex-girlfriend wants to get back together because I am no longer sick. When I received the diagnosis of testicular cancer, my then-girlfriend immediately initiated that we should see other people, claiming that caring for me would be overwhelming and she doesn't want to go through what her dad has gone through with her mother. Oh, is this the same girl that said she was running a marathon in the honor of her ex getting sick instead of, like, staying with them through the recovery? Is this the same person that was in that facepalm video? We live in the city, and I heard nothing from her or about her during this ordeal. During her absence, I underwent surgery and endured chemotherapy, and my recent medical evaluation indicates no sign of cancer. Hell yeah, beat that cancer, bro, that is amazing. Upon learning of my improved health status, my ex-girlfriend sought to get back together with me. Wow, they've already shown their true colors, right? What do you think happens the next time? You know, what do you think happens the next time you get sick or something is tough in life or something like that? Do you think they're gonna be there? Of course they're not. She expressed her desire to get back together, seemingly surprised when I rejected her. Yeah, I want to be together with you, but I'm not gonna be there for you. You know, if something happens or you need support or something like that, bye! But as long as you promise to never get sick and never have bad periods, I will be there with you.
You know, marriage, what they say, through the good time, and that's it.
Given her actions, I find no desire to get back together with her, and she is just seriously messing up my mental health. Haha, congrats on recovery from both of the cancers! One of the tumors even walked out on their own. Hell yeah. My dad is angry because I didn't cover up for him when he gave our dog chocolate. That's one of the dumbest titles I've read today. He wanted to share chocolates with our dog. Okay, that's a good start. When I, 18M, warned him that chocolate is toxic for dogs and could seriously harm her, my dad brushed to the side. He said that these are expensive Swiss chocolates, so it's probably safe. No, that's probably worse because there's a higher concentration of cocoa. No, I looked at the box and told him it's even worse since it's high cocoa, and the cocoa is the dangerous. But it's actually, yeah, it's worse if you have like a cheap chocolate that is mainly like, I don't know, milk and stuff. That might be, well, not good, but less terribly deadly, even though you still shouldn't do it, but this is like the absolute opposite. Then I went to take a shower. I thought he would heed my warning, but when I returned to the living room, he had already fed her chocolate. We all have Google machines in our pockets nowadays. Oh my how, dear God. This is like some modern Darwinism type, and I'm so sad that, you know, it's for the dog. The dog is the one hurting. Oh my God. We did get her to the vet in time. She threw up and her heart rate went way up, but fortunately has since recovered. At first, my dad wanted to blame me for it,